You had an attorney general who hid in his office for 4 years and was not in front of the camera. Piece of law enforcement.
Look, Alejandro Mayorkas didn't want to be the immigration secretary, and that's what he turned into by virtue of being afraid to talk about some of these issues too. So there's an interesting story column by Josh Barro that's been getting traction on social media. This was kind of shocking to a lot of folks who are like, hey, multiple top level Biden staffers sharing this story on how they blew it on immigration. Would love to hear who exactly they blame for this in the administration. I got to tell you, having sat at DHS for most of the last 4 years in one capacity or another, there was a great story to tell, and the White House didn't let us tell it.
You tell me. What's the story?
Border security had never been as strong as it was during the Biden administration. And people were afraid to let us tell that story. You know, a lot of people call Obama the deporter in chief. When you look at the reality of border security over the last 20 years since DHS became a thing, remember, DHS didn't even exist until 2003, and Border Patrol's been around for 100 years, but you know, it was a poorly funded small outfit for many of those decades. And you've had immigration in the 50,000 range since the 60s, hundreds of thousands throughout the 70s, getting upwards of 1.6 million illegal crossings or irregular crossings in 1986 during the Reagan administration. Border security has always been an issue, and it had never been as strong as it was during the Biden administration.
I'm just going to push back here. A lot of people would be skeptical of what you're saying, right? So,
and I'll tell you this. A majority of people who came in during 2021, 2022, and 2023 in those fiscal years were removed, returned, or expelled. Now, the issue is that a lot more people started coming, and that's what people saw, and that's why there's this disconnect between the fact that we were modernizing. Border Patrol had been asking for a lot of what the Biden administration delivered on. The challenge is that already in 2019, during the first Trump administration, you had seen a spike. Immigration had doubled during the Trump administration. And the only reason that subsided in 2020 was because of the COVID pandemic. But Democrats were afraid to talk about it during the Biden administration. And that's why we're in this situation where it seems like we blew it, when the actual work that Border Patrol and that the Biden administration was doing was state of the art, cutting edge, advanced efforts on the border, and it actually reconciling the humanitarian need with the economic demand that we have in the United States for cheap labor.
So what are they doing right that you weren't doing? Is it because they're removing folks in the street in full view? Is it because Fox?
A lot of it is for publicity and for show. And so people got scared. And so some people have self-deported. But this is why I posed that question last week to Eric Farnsworth. How long will the pressure hold? Because a lot of people are still waiting to come, and they're going to try to come at some point. Donald Trump keeps saying, oh, zero immigration. No,
what is it now?
It's never been zero.